And one of them is going to go home after this, and one's going to go on to the quarterfinals in a date with Louisville. Bill Covington throws it up with Ted Valentine and A.J. Desai. And the ball is in the hands of Christian Tucker, making his first start since December 3rd. It's an unusual Cal starting five with no Wilkinson and no Blacksher. And they'll hope they can survive one more day, this wild ride. DJ Campbell back into the starting lineup for this one. His shot is rebounded by Maxime Raynaud, which is a notable rebound for us because Raynaud, who's part of the Stanford starting five, has just passed the wonderful producer of our Dayside games here at the ACC Tournament, Kim Belton, a great Stanford player. And Stanford gets a three-pointer out of it from Donovan Young, season average of 3.7. The Cal starting five. So Campbell's back into the lineup. Tucker's fifth start of the year. Ritas Petritis was a game-time decision with a sprained ankle. And then Stojakovic and Sissoko have been exceptional.
A game-time decision meaning let's see who else isn't going to play and convince the healthiest to grit it out.
Campbell over Raynaud, misses a three. And Stanford's got the ball with Jalyen Blakes, a Duke transfer. One of the most improved players in the conference. Osiah Sellers, Ryan Agarwal, the freshman Young, and Raynaud, the Stanford five for first-year head coach Kyle Smith.
And you've worked with me enough to understand, like, if you're going to double team Raynaud, they have to move the ball out of that and then play against the chasing defense. Could put Cal in a bad situation if you move the basketball well, but Cal's got to take it out of Raynaud's hands.
They're going to have to lean on Stojakovic today. He's double teamed. Gets it back from Petritis and guarded by the junior Sellers. The former Stanford man, Stojakovic, who transferred this year to Cal, rattles in his first shot.
So good, and he really does. Just watch his pace, right? Watch the way he operates. Changes speeds really well, but he has great balance with the basketball, and that's how he's able to kind of create enough space to get shots off.
On the drive, Blakes is smothered. The rejection by Christian Tucker. The point guard in his fifth start of the year with the athletic block.
You get excited about guards getting blocks, Kev.
Absolutely. You got excited about all the blocks you got, I'm sure.
Peaked in high school, man.
Stojakovic finds some space. He's got the first four.
A lot of the things that Stojakovic does really well, other players can do because they're simple, fundamental things like keeping your head up and keeping your dribble alive as you get into the paint, probe a little bit, change speeds. A lot of little things he does well, makes him hard to guard.
Stanford 11-9 in the league this year, first season in the ACC. They were 3-9 away from home. Excellent in Palo Alto. Jumper short by Sellers, and the long rebound tracked down by Blakes. He feeds Sellers again. He's shot ready from three.
I love that. When you get a second chance opportunity, you can get it back to the guy that just took the shot. Should always seek that out. You got to feel for a shot by getting the first one up. You get it back, shoot it with confidence.
Cal, a team that really struggles to shoot. Last in ACC games in field goal and three-point percentage.
He does it.
He sure does it, Stojakovic, and it looks like he's healthier now. Was ill, was dealing with a hip injury, missed 4 games, but in these two, John, his touch has been impeccable.
The problem for Stanford is you can't lose him. You've got to communicate whether you're on him or not.
Raynaud out of the double team. Blakes, Sellers, another three.
All set up by what, Kevin?
The
double team. Like, it comes so fast. He held it for just a split second to allow his offensive players to get into position, swing that thing around. Sellers, who just hit one, gets another look.
He's their best three-point shooter on the year, 39%. And he's hit his first two. A 9-7 Stanford lead, and they haven't even... Kevin, thank you. And yeah, welcome to Cal and Stanford and Charlotte. Welcome to the Andrej Stojakovic Show. The Stanford transfer with the first 9. Kevin Brown, John Crispin with you. 291st meeting between Cal and Stanford. Their first in the ACC Tournament. First-year members of the league. And there is the All-America candidate, Maxime Raynaud, missing a 3. If you're just joining us, 2 starters down for Cal today. Jereimah Wilkinson, 6th man of the year, who's moved into the lineup of late. Out with a concussion. Their point guard, Jovan Blacksher, is out with a foot injury, and yet they've got the lead because Andrej Stojakovic has every one of their 11 points.
I mean, he's taken all but 2 of their shots, too, and there's a reason why you keep going to him. If he's making shots, go back to him.
Raynaud is doubled again. Another open 3. And another 3-pointer. This one for Jalyen Blakes. Stanford's 12 points have all come from the 3-point line.
You know what? A lot of those are coming because of the double inside. So you may take Raynaud away, but if Stanford continues to hit threes, open looks around the perimeter, you may have to adjust a little bit.
Here's Mady Sissoko on the drop-off. And Sissoko, the first non-Stojakovic points for Cal. Graduate transfer from Michigan State who has been awesome down the stretch.
Yeah, not Stojakovic points, but he being on that side brings his defender out, which opens the roll.
Young throws it away to Agarwal. It's a Stanford turnover, their second. DJ Campbell moved back into the starting lineup today. Off the hand of Sissoko. And collected by the freshman Donovan Young for Stanford.
Campbell actually threw the lob. That wasn't a shot. He was looking for Sissoko down low.
Blakes to the rack and scores the first 2 for Stanford. Jalyen Blakes was the runner-up for most improved player in the ACC. Donald Hand Jr. of BC won it. Blakes 1.8 points per game at Duke last year, averaging 13, 4.5 assists. He's been an awesome leader, defender, scorer, and passer for Stanford. Stojakovic. Here's Sissoko over Raynaud.
Had a good start. A lot of scoring in this game so far. I mean, it's not really up and down, but they're making shots. 77% from the field for Cal. You take that.
And Sissoko with the Golden Bears' first foul. Staying out of foul trouble will be a major need for Mark Madsen, who's got about a 7-man rotation today, maybe. Yep. Seeking consecutive ACC wins for the first time in a couple of months. Of course, a great player at Stanford, was an assistant coach there as well, was inducted into the Stanford Athletics Hall of Fame 6 years ago. Now he's trying to end their season.
You definitely tighten your rotations in tournament settings, whether it's the NCAA tournament or the conference tournament. But the way Cal's had to do it is not really what you would choose.
Aiden Kamen on the floor for the first time for Stanford. He's called for an offensive foul with an illegal screen. Kyle Smith in his first year at Stanford came over from Washington State. He was a Pac-12 Coach of the Year last year. Wazoo went 25-10. Washington State to the West Coast Conference, at least for now, with a temporary dissolution of the Pac-12. It'll be the Pac-something soon. But he is in the ACC with Stanford, and his team cannot get a stop. Cal has hit its last 8 shots, and that's DJ Campbell with his first 2.
You know, y'all started with what Stojakovic was able to do, and so much attention continues to go his way that you're going to have open driving lanes because you're not getting help off him.
Tucker finds Campbell in transition. Back to Christian Tucker. And there's the first miss. Stojakovic spins into it. And Stojakovic has 13. A California blitz in the first 8 minutes and a timeout taken by Stanford.
Stojakovic has just been terrific to start this game. And when you see one go down and then you start to put the ball on the floor and get what your mascot fan, but man, having played at UCLA and gone up against that fierce, what'd you call him? The fearsome tree?
Fearsome tree.
Yeah. These 2 mascots were 2 of my least favorites.
Which mascot most intensely staring into your soul during a jump shot? The bear with the rocking headband?
Well, the bear will stare. Yeah, the bear will sit there with his hands behind his back, staring into your soul. The tree just goes nuts most of the game. The duck was always really good around it too. That was another one.
All good mascots. You love all mascots equally. Raynaud's back on the floor. He's taking just one shot for Stanford. Benny Gieler, Chisholm Akpara, Aiden Kamen off the bench. Here's Raynaud, fakes the pass, and now delivers to the corner for a Sellers miss from 3.
It's interesting to see Kyle Smith move Raynaud around the perimeter because of the double team. I would actually keep throwing it to him. Welcome to double. You've gotten good looks from the perimeter. You just have to get a stop on this end, which means cut it off for Stojakovic.
Here's Campbell against Raynaud. Passes out of it. Spencer Mahoney dumps it inside to Lee Dort. And a travel. Second Cal turnover. Our 2025 T. Rowe Price ACC Men's Basketball Tournament bracket. Georgia Tech and North Carolina have won in the first 2 quarterfinals. First 2 second-round games. So chalky quarterfinals so far. 1-8, 4-5. Duke, Georgia Tech. Wake, UNC tomorrow. Winner of this game gets Louisville, and then we have SMU and Syracuse, a 14 seed. Winner of that game will face Clemson tomorrow. The big boys, the heavy hitters, Duke, Louisville, and Clemson, a combined 55-5 in the league, a combined 52-2 against the other 15 teams in the league. Can somebody break through out of those top 3? Sellers off his own miss. Stojakovic tracks it down for Cal, which is on a 6-0 spurt here, and has hit 9 of its last 10. Stojakovic has hit his first 6. Campbell out to Mahoney. And the rebound down to Dort. Stojakovic again.
Jeez.
Oh, he's 7 for 7.
Jeez.
A heavenly start for the former Stanford man, now wearing blue and gold.
I got to tell you, it really starts with not letting him feel good about his shot to start the game. He made his first few, and it's just been flowing like crazy. Stojakovic is going to be tough. You can't let him get a catch. You can't leave him on a scramble. You've almost got to play junk defense.
Chisholm Akpara, Harvard transfer, the bucket off the bench. Tucker, here's Stojakovic again. Akpara out to defend him. Stojakovic sizing up his man. Spins, fakes, leans in, and there's his first miss. It's grabbed by Dort. A series of pump fakes, and it's stripped into the hands of Blakes.
I thought Stojakovic got fouled on that one.
Raynaud for 3. He's finally on the board.
Finally on the board, but really Cal lost him in transition. You have to know if he's the first one down floor, great. Probably play a 3-quarter front, don't allow an early entry pass. But if he's trailing, you've got to get out of the paint and take that away.
Maxime Raynaud, the only 20-10 player in the league, in the country. 20 points, 11 rebounds a game. Tucker into the paint, lobs it up for the big man Dort. And count the bucket with a foul from Ted Valentine. Or no, is he going to wave that off? He's going to wave off the bucket. Hang on a second now. He whipped off the bucket and immediately went over to Mark Madsen because he knew how the Cal bench would feel about this. Now we're going to get the officials together.
I've seen a bunch of hand gestures that I don't recognize over there. I mean, did he think it was above the rim? It definitely was not above the rim. Inadvertent whistle. That is a great call. God bless Ted Valentine for just going, you know what? Everybody gets a my bad in this world, right? He probably thought, yeah, he may have got above the rim, but he clearly did not. Good my bad. We good with that?
I wondered at first, looking at the replay, if there was a Raynaud foul slapping the arm on the pass.
No, he was waving and pointing. I couldn't follow what he was doing. But
so the basket is going to count. So Dort does get the dunk. Inadvertent whistle after that. And it's 24-19. Here's Campbell for Cal, which, by the way, has gone way deep into the bench. Vladimir Pavlovich wearing 33. It's his 3rd game of the year. Here's Benny Gieler, second-year scholarship player, freshman walk-on. He can do that.
Go ahead.
And that'll lead to a Mark Madsen timeout. Stanford 6 out of 8 from 3 in a 30-second stoppage for us. Points per game, their point guard playing 30 minutes a game. So Cal extremely short-handed and still in front. First basket for Rytis Petraitis. He was a game-time decision with a sprained ankle.
Petraitis is one of those guys that he can play a number of different roles. You're going to see him double down, but he's also going to scramble out well.
Raynaud into the paint.
There he is.
Here's Petraitis with a rebound. And here is Vladimir Pavlovich. Third game of the year. He's played 3 minutes this season, but somebody's got to play tonight. A 3 for Campbell is short and grabbed by Raynaud.
I feel like he's one of those guys that when he gets into the game, you would mention his like major, what PhD he's working on right now, right?
He played 7 games in 43 minutes a year ago, Pavlovich. Akpara, great three-point shooter, but it doesn't take many. Raynaud will take, and Raynaud will hit his second 3. And Stanford is 7 for 9 from deep.
He's kind of got that Jokic release where it's slow, but it's kind of behind his head. And there's only so far you can get up into his space. It's hard to stop that once he lines up that three-point shot.
Petraitis floats it back for Campbell. I don't know that this lineup's seen the floor at all for Cal this year with Mahoney and Pavlovich and no Wilkinson or Blacksher or Stojakovic.
They have. It's called practice.
And they still find a bucket from DJ Campbell.
I mean, right now, Mark Matson's stealing time with this lineup. I mean, they just scored 2 possessions in a row. If not for giving up the 3 for Raynaud, I mean, they're doing a good job maintaining a little lead.
Geeler on the Raynaud screen. Geeler kicks it out. Another open 3. Agarwal couldn't hit. Here's Mahoney, 6'9" freshman who played for Kyle Smith last year at Washington State, but redshirted. Sissoko. Double team comes. Sissoko throws it right to Agarwal.
You can just see this is not a lineup that understands one another's tendencies as well as your starting group or even your second group would if they were all healthy.
They're not going to double here at first, and Raynaud spins around, a tough angle miss. Well played by Sissoko. And Mahoney, you can sense the hesitation from the moment he didn't take it. For the first time, Wofford, pretty good program. They were a 6 seed this year, struggled, but they're going to the tournament, and so is Gonzaga beating St. Mary's after losing both games in the regular season.
You and I saw Wofford against Duke earlier this season, and we never would have predicted that they would make the NCAA
they scored
tournament.
35 points.
But at that time, we probably didn't realize how good that Duke team was. A ton of hype, but ultimately they've lived up to it and then some.
And they'll play tomorrow noon against Georgia Tech. Here's Raynaud. California 28, Stanford 25 here at the ACC Tournament. Long time Pac, whatever rivals, Pac-10, Pac-12, both moved to the ACC this year. And the 4th time in 6 conference tournaments they're meeting. Stojakovic has been the man today. He's 7 out of 8. And he misses that shot, but it's grabbed by Sissoko.
Stojakovic got fouled about 5 times on that play. Do you remember when we came out with that thing called freedom of movement? Did we flush it at some point? Oh my goodness.
I think it only happens in the final 20 seconds of games now.
or last second.
Stojakovic with 16, not too soon for some people, too soon for others, ACC fan bases. Sissoko's got 6. And again, Cal without Jereimah Wilkinson or Jovan Blacksher. They're 2 starting guards. Campbell driving in on Geeler, try to sell the charge. Campbell gets his own miss. Second chance, no, there's Sissoko again. It's off of the Cal big man.
Yeah, Sissoko's going to find the open area in the paint just to post up here to get rebounds. Why? Because 2 have to go at Stojakovic, who takes the tough shot. But Monty Sissoko's right there just waiting. Probably because he finally got himself a little fluid in the last break, Kev.
Monty Sissoko right now is fasting from sunset to sunrise because of Ramadan. Sunset was about 10 minutes ago, so he's able to have fluids to eat again. Nice little knifing move in the lane there, Oziah Sellers. Mark Madsen told us it feels like in some ways, Mady Sissoko's game has elevated. It's like he's more emotionally, spiritually connected in some way, and he has 3 double-doubles in the last 4.
Or
they need him to be big tonight.
Or just less poison, Ken. Either way.
Could be. 14 and 13 last night. Stojakovic misses another. Tracked down by the freshman Young. Ahead to Sellers. Want to get it to Raynaud. And they'll get it to him from the 3-point line. Maxime with a left-hand finish.
I mean, how about that from the 7-footer, right? The show high. Defense closes a little bit, but just comes off their toes, up to their toes enough to get them off balance, and he attacks the middle of the paint, finish with the left. That's a highly skilled play.
Here's Pavlovic. Sissoko, tough finish, he's fouled. With 3:27 to go. Cal has led for longer in this first half than the first 2 meetings against Stanford. Looking for a stunner in Charlotte. How about this? Cal first 2 meetings against Stanford led for 7:38. Tonight they've led for most of the first half, 11:46. And again, it bears repeating, pun not intended. No Jereimah Wilkinson, no Jovan Blacksher. There they are, Blacksher on the left in the nothing easy warm-up, Wilkinson on our right. That's a combined 25.6 points per game. Wilkinson, a couple of games ago against Notre Dame, had 43 in a 4 overtime loss. And Cal has led almost the whole first half.
But you know, it does something. It puts the game in the hands of Andrej Stojakovic. And if he's scoring well, the whole game, the whole defense just shifts his way, and it's going to create opportunities for everybody else.
Kara, I tell you what, he doesn't take many threes, but when he does, he connects. He's like the most interesting man in the world. He's 16 for 35, and he ties the game at 32. Christian Tucker getting the start at the point guard today. And there's an offensive foul. It's Sissoko's 2nd foul. Selection Sunday is coming up. 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific with Sports Center on ESPN this Sunday. And bracketology presented by Lowe's for the men's field of 68, followed by the women's selection special presented by Capital One at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, and more bracketology after that on ESPN2.
That last foul is something we've got to figure out, right? Because it's getting to the point where nobody wants to screen anymore. You'll see a ton of go screens. You see a bunch of fakes, but nobody wants to touch anybody anymore.
How do you figure it out?
My real answer?
Yeah. Probably not, because there are only 2.5 minutes left in this first half. Jalyen Blakes with a jumper.
If you're going to make something a point of emphasis, you have to understand how to create balance with the rule. You can't just look for every bit of contact on a screener, particularly when you have so many teams that switch. Teams are going to switch. You really have to rethink calling that a foul.
A foul on the drive by Tucker. Stanford has taken its first lead in 11.5 minutes.
Quick example, Kevin. If you're going against a switching defense and you're setting the screen and you roll into the guy that switched on to you, how is that an illegal screen? It's just there's some nuance. And when you think the rules are really black and white, the game's not played that way. The game's played in the gray. And I think you have to be able to officiate with nuance.
Foul was on Raynaud, by the way, just his first. Stanford's only committed 4, Cal 3. There have been just 2 free throws in the whole game. Stojakovic comes up to set the screen, and nobody guards him. Oh, boy, Stanford caught a huge break there. And then Gieler is fouled by Petritis.
I thought Gieler stood up with the ball.
I did too.
You know, he's down on the floor, stands up. Interesting. Yeah, you wonder if, too, going out and coming back in, it kind of reset the rhythm for Stojakovic. He hasn't been able to find it since. Some of that's the physicality defensively, though.
Raynaud floats it home. He's into double figures, and here comes Stanford.
He's got such soft touch, so you double him in the post, but those short rolls, there's only so much you can do. I love that short roll from a skilled player like that.
Stojakovic matched up with Blakes. Blakes takes it away. Stanford steals, leader is fouled.
You were big on Blakes in terms of most improved, and I couldn't agree anymore. He's really, really become one heck of a player. I think he's been good on the offensive end. He's kind of taken on the responsibility, having to be a playmaker. But defensively, is really where you see it. Just has a good knack for how to play the game, how to be disruptive, both on the ball and off.
He was at Duke for 3 years. He barely played, which is no shame. A lot of great players go to Duke and have a hard time cracking the rotation. He was a 1.8 per game scorer last year. And Kyle Smith said he brings us a winning program culture. And they thought he'd be a real point of attack defender, which you just saw. But he's been a pleasant surprise offensively. Tried to draw a charge there, and he'll get hit with a block. It's his second foul. And that's going to get Blakes out for the remaining 64 seconds of the half.
Do you like the no call in that situation?
I do.
I kind of do, right? Because I think the game needs as much flow as possible. And even though, yeah, he kind of took a dive, it creates an advantage for the offense. I'd rather just see him not blow the whistle.
A hesitant whistle, too. Let's see if we really want to go with this. Let's see how serious the diving act is before we make a decision.
I was hesitant after that inadvertent one he called earlier.
Final minute of the first half. 13-2 Stanford run. Dort. Gieler comes down to double, stripped it, and he gets called for a foul. He thought he had all ball.
He had one to give. Still not a great possession for Cal. Kind of bail him out. I doubt Dort's going to get the best shot at the rim there.
And remember, they don't have Sissoko in the game because he has 2 fouls. Campbell into Petritis. Campbell didn't want to do anything with a switch on Raynaud. Tucker, he got hit, no call. Here's Agarwal. Whoa! Back to Tucker it comes. And he runs into Gieler. No foul.
You take it from here.
Right. Settle down, boys. 1 shot to go in the half.
That was like the best play could just be boot the ball out of bounds and start over. I got to think Cal's tired, too. We can't mention that enough.
Tucker. Looking for Dort, lost it. 9/10 of a second. Technically, there could be a shot clock violation. The shot clock is at 1, but there are no decimals on this shot clock, so it's somewhere under 9/10 of a second. Aiden Cannon's on the floor for the final play for Stanford, a little extra height.
Stojakovic has a potential screener.
Stojakovic breaks late to the basket, and that's the end of the first half. Stanford ends it on a 9-0 run. It's the 10:34 mark, and Cal hasn't hit a field goal since the 5:17 mark. Stanford ended the half on a 9-0 run, a 13-2 run, and the Cardinal had the ball leading by 6. Again, Louisville gets the winner tomorrow night, the number 2 seed. Ozziah Sellers couldn't get it to go, and then that ball's knocked out of bounds off of Mady Sissoko by a Stanford player, his last touch, so it will actually off of Sissoko, so it will stay with Stanford, beg your pardon, and Jalyen Blakes to inbound. Blakes for Maxime Raynaud, and Raynaud with a little second half thunder.
Just no ball pressure. That's like a chest pass through the paint from the baseline. That shouldn't happen.
Raynaud looks like he's favoring something right now. He's wincing in the paint. A dozen for the second leading vote getter on the All-ACC teams. Stojakovic with another miss. Sissoko with an offensive rebound and a stick back, plus a foul.
Got to see why Cal was able to win the rebounding battle against his Stanford group earlier. just so physical down low. And so much attention, too, on Stojakovic shooting the basketball that Mady Sissoko is able to get where he wants in terms of getting on the offensive glass.
Cal is one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. They lead the league 13.5 offensive rebounds a game. Sissoko second in the ACC, more than 3 offensive rebounds a game. Stanford beats the pressure with Raynaud. Sellers open. Sellers swirls it out for 3. There's Rytis Petraitis for Cal, playing on a sprained ankle and lost his footing and turns it over. That's the 11th turnover by Cal.
Cal picking up pressure on these dead ball situations.
Raynaud. Well, they beat the pressure the last time. Raynaud goes to the wing and eschews a 3. And now seals off Tucker, and Sissoko came back to get that favorable matchup. Raynaud will then step out. And that's going to stay with Stanford. It was fumbled by a couple of Cal Bears.
That's one of the concerns. If you're going to pick up in pressure, which means you end up scrambling back out of it when you get back into the half court, you've got to recognize where Raynaud is. I mean, he's lining up a wide open 3, just stepping right into it. He's going to make a higher percentage of those than you're willing to let him shoot.
Sellers. Short. DJ Campbell back in the starting lineup. Jovan Blacksher and Jereimah Wilkinson both injured and out. And Campbell with a pretty sweet fadeaway.
Good balance. Took him all the way down to the block, got the defense leading. Turnaround.
Double figures in his last 2. Transfer from Western Carolina out of Hampton, Virginia. Raynaud again. 4-3.
That's the problem. You want to talk about a pick and pop nightmare. Because it's not just that he can pick and pop and make 3s. It's that if he makes the right read, he pick and rolls to the basket, then he holds his seal, and then he forces a double. But it's also the pick and short roll, which just opens up other opportunities. 3-level score.
Second leading scorer in the ACC. And there's Blakes, his 18th game this year of multiple steals. And Raynaud's open. Not going to take it from 3. He'll worm his way down into the paint and get fouled by Tucker.
So many options, right? You want to defend the ball screen. Sissoko's going to hang back to take that curl away, protect the paint, but you're covering Raynaud. It's too much to ask of Sissoko in that situation. Particularly when you think about the 6 overtimes the last 2 games. These guys are gassed. I feel like Raynaud with the 15 points, he has 6'11". He's really just finding it in the game, because the game started with doubles coming his way, and he kind of deferred until he found a little rhythm.
Didn't score for about 10.5 minutes. Dort's in the game right now. Raynaud.
It's a foul. Absolute foul.
All right, hang on a second now. Ted Valentine's calling it Stanford ball, no foul. That's going to be reversed. If it's not a foul, which it wasn't called, it's got to be Cal ball.
Just wonder sometimes, like we had that freedom of movement stuff. We patted ourselves on the back for blowing the whistle every 20 seconds. I mean, that's a full-on shove as he's going to the basket.
Stojakovic guarded by Blakes, spins around it.
So pretty. That's special. I mean, the body control, the balance on the spin, recognition of where the shot blockers are, and just kind of getting just underneath the hands of the shot blockers.
His first year with Cal, left Stanford after the coaching change. Gerard Haas was fired. Kyle Smith came in. Stojakovic goes just up the bay. Blakes driving, and Blakes is fouled.
This is just good stuff, and Stojakovic is going to have to be strong with the basketball. You know, he's going to get physicality. He's going to get a good look. He's going up against one of the better defenders in this conference. Just patient, kind of feel the defender, spin off. Good recognition. That's just smooth stuff.
Had 25 in the first Stanford game. And that's 16 and 10, his first double-double of the year in the second Stanford game. And again, they have to lean on him more without Wilkinson and Blacksher, their second and third leading scorers. Blakes goes 2 for 2.
You got to think Stojakovic is going to have a ridiculous, line for Cal to have a chance. But at the same time, if he keeps scoring and starts to pull the defense with him, the game's going to get easier for everybody else.
Stanford extends pressure here with Young. Lobbed around it to Campbell. And Campbell floats it in.
He's playing with a lot of confidence, Kevin. Sometimes it's easier to play with confidence when you know you have guys that are typically ahead of you out for injury, right? You can just let loose, be fearless, play with conviction, let it fly.
His first start in about 35 days, DJ Campbell. Raynaud into the paint over Dort. He doesn't miss many of those. 17 for the first teamer in the ACC and the potential All-American.
It's also a crafty finish because the defender at that point, as you're getting back down, you're almost waiting for the left shoulder right hook. He actually jumped with his back to the defender and finished it in a more awkward way. It kind of showcases the skill he's got.
Campbell for 3. It will stay with California. It was a 6-point game at the half. It remains a 6-point game. A winner go home second rounder in Charlotte for their resume, except it keeps them alive for a quad 2 date with Wake Forest tomorrow. And then if they win that, likely Duke. There's a bucket and a foul. DJ Campbell. These teams don't care about bracketology. You got to win the tournament to get in, and Cal and Stanford fighting to get to the quarterfinals.
I really think there's something to being able to play knowing that you're not going to get taken out. I'm not sure where the foul was on that.
DJ Campbell on the line for Cal with 1 shot.
Like, he's playing freely. He's holding nothing back. He's taking tough shots. He's being aggressive. I mean, that's exactly how you have to be in this situation. I would take as many bad shots as I could, to be honest.
How many good shots would you take in there?
I have a smart response.
Ponder that.
Hold it back.
4-point lead for Stanford. Here's Blakes on the drive, and he is fouled. So this has been a little bit of a whistle heavier start to the second half. Lee Dort with his second, back up big.
It's a great challenge. When you're prepping for this Stanford team, you watch a lot of Maxime Raynaud. And you see him score at every level. You see him get assists from every level. That means pick and pop. That means managing the double and passing out of it. It means a short roll, hard roll to the basket, back to the basket, good feel. He's really a difficult cover. He gets so much of your emotional energy when trying to defend. The key is play freely on offense, communicate to the best of your ability if you're Cal on the defensive end.
Jalyen Blakes goes 1 for 2. Raynaud's got 17, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals in 23 minutes. Raynaud was also awarded the ACC Scholar Athlete of the Year before the game.
You surprised it's coming from one of these two teams?
Well, it's the 5th year in a row a Stanford athlete has won their conference award. Not a shock. Campbell facing up the freshman Young. Step back 2. It's short. And it's off of Chisholm Akpara. Stays with Cal. They really fight on the offensive glass. Mentioned it earlier. Lead the ACC. Cal does 13.5 offensive rebounds a game.
The key is that you be aggressive on the offensive glass without giving up too many transition opportunities. That's the hard thing, because there are a lot of teams that won't send anybody to the glass because you just give up too much in transition.
And they do give up, unfortunately, a lot of transition. So it's a risk reward for Mark Madsen. Campbell to 3. Oh, it's pure. DJ Campbell coming alive in the second half, and here comes Cal within a bucket.
You can see in the celebrations, too, he's playing with a little edge, right? A little swagger out here. You need it. Why not?
Here's Akpara given space to shoot or to drive after the pump fake. Puts it home for 2 more.
It's really good stuff. The 4 pump fakes. Get them all up. He's got a great body to be able to go into the defender.
The Stanford folks told us he's the master of the pump fake. Okpara. How did that get in? Christian Tucker just forced it home for his first two.
You got to get Raynaud involved in the offense again.
Raynaud sealing off Sissoko. There's the bounce pass.
Yeah.
There's the bucket.
You just see the setup of that. They're going to get him involved, and he really wanted it on the block. And if you go with the quick action, the double's not really ready to come. He made a quick decision once he got the ball, too.
Stojakovic, a three. His first basket since the 10:34 mark, the first half. First three-point basket anyway, should say. He's got 21, and it's a one-point game.
It's like Stanford fell asleep because he hadn't scored in a while. You can't leave him to help off of a driver.
Into the middle of the zone, it's Raynaud again. 21 now for the big man.
I said it earlier in our open, I'm sure the world saw, that he can score at every level. He's got great touch, but you also double, then you risk allowing him to get everybody else involved. He's a far better player than anyone recognizes.
Gieler was very handsy with Stojakovic there. A foul felt inevitable, and it's Gieler's second.
It's been a while for Stojakovic, who had such a terrific first half, but you can't help off if you're Okpara. Cannot help off of the best scorer on the floor. And Raynaud, I mean, he's an any layer scorer, right? He's putting himself in position. Here's the seal. He set it up really well. Tough left hand. It's two left-hand finishes in a row. Can't play his left shoulder, right hook. You can't play his right shoulder, left hook. He's got it all. I think what I like the most is the fact that he's willing to short roll, get to catch, identify what the defense is doing, and then from there play facing the basket. That makes you a threat from every position, except the bench.
He's going to get a breather before the 12-minute timeout. If anybody could be a threat from the bench, it would be him somehow. Aiden Cammon replaces him. Stojakovic with 22 with no Wilkinson and no Blacksher. And Cal without two starters in this game. Stojakovic has been banged up. Petritis was a game-time decision. Remember, they're without B.J. Omat, who was going to be a starter. 11 points in 4 games. He's been out since mid-November with a wrist injury. Joshua Ola-Joseph started 10 games. He's out, 7-point-per-game score. So they are really thin. They are really short. And they are really battling all the while. Cammon's first shot of the game is rebounded by Sissoko. Cal can take its first lead of the second half. Stojakovic can get them there at the line.
How about the behind-the-back dribble? Woo. Gieler was all up on him. I mean, right there, good defense until he just sold him a dream going to the left and came back to the right. Here, watch the round the back here. Whoop. I mean, he's just smooth, and then a little hesitation. Sissoko did a good job of holding that seal for a split second without picking up another foul for touching somebody that's almost a screen.
Stojakovic was a McDonald's All-American. He was ranked 22nd in his class. Again, went to Stanford. And Jared Haas went into the portal after the coaching change and found a home here at Cal. So Stojakovic and Mark Madsen, both former Stanford players, both trying to lead Cal to a win over Mark Madsen's alma mater and Stojakovic's former school and knock them out of the tournament. It's a kind of intermingling you don't necessarily see in Duke, Carolina.
Well, let me put it this way. It's kind of like, sort of like, to a lesser extreme, it's like Tyler Hansbrough coaching Duke. I mean, that's what Mark Madsen was to that Stanford program. He was Tyler Hansbrough at Stanford. And I understand the rivalry is not at that level, so relax.
To a lesser extent, you said.
I know, I gave my disclaimers.
Off the miss by Sellers. Here comes Cal with Pavlovich. Tucker with a shot fake. I mean, he hasn't scored in 2 years.
You're lining up your big call for him.
Here's Tucker. .55-54. last team into this tournament. 15-seeded California's got the lead with 11:14 to go. There's one more second-round game coming up. It's Syracuse and
And really had a great first season here, especially at home.
Coach, you've had some terrific teams going back from Florida Gulf Coast at USC. You've had tremendous high-level NBA players. This team plays with great balance. What do you want to see early against Syracuse to find that balance for SMU?
Well, one of 2 teams in the country have 6 guys average double figures. We need to share the basketball, get out in transition. We're much better at points per possession when we steal the ball or they miss a shot, the opponents miss. We're not as good when the team makes a shot. So we have to get out, get some deflection steals, and get off to the races.
You guys played Syracuse 8 days ago. You led for about a minute, won it on a tip-in at the buzzer. Has your heart rate slowed down from that?
Well, Syracuse is playing very good basketball. They played a great game against us. We were fortunate to win the game. It was a great college basketball game, and we expect them to play well tonight, so we have to bring our best.
Andy, thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, good luck, Coach.
Andy Enfield, maybe not that soon. It's a Cal game, soon-ish. They played 4 and 2 overtimes in their last 2 respectively, and they're in a one-point game
Coach.
with 10:20 to go. Stojakovic, guarded by Okpara. He's got 27 in the game, trying to find space, heaves it up at the rim and gets fouled. And Stojakovic took a hard hit. He's got the last 9 for Cal. This beaten and battered and bruised Bear team, Stojakovic will get to his feet.
Look, kids with all their workout coaches and everybody else that is going to advise them in the game. One of the things they don't work on anymore is simple pivoting. Simple pivoting is pretty much what won Villanova championships. Simple stuff like that. He got into the paint, had nothing going. The pivoting created the options for him, and he did get whacked in the head.
Great Warped Tour band, by the way, Simple Pivoting.
It's a real band?
No, it's not.
I was going to say.
But I could have held you.
God, that here.
That's Peja. And this is Andrej, who goes 1 for 2. So 29 in the win yesterday over Virginia Tech, 28 today, and they'll take a break with 10:10 to go.
See, we said this early. When you look at this group, they're beaten and battered. You got guys out with injury. They've played 6 overtimes in the last 2 games. They've traveled, the world basically to get here. You've got to be crafty with your rotations in terms of giving Stojakovic a little break, but having to get him back in. He's too important down the stretch.
Blakes has had a nice night. And he ties it.
Good back and forth. And it's almost as if when one team scores, they both score. When one team doesn't score, neither does the other. It points to the argument about rhythm in this game.
Cal shooting it at 61%, 23 for 38. Petritus off the shoe of Raynaud, no kick ball. Tucker with 5 to shoot. Tucker, tough one short. And
look who was there. Petritus knocked it off.
That's touched by Blakes.
That's it, Eddie. Just straight hustle.
He's awesome.
He was a question coming into this game too, as you see Stojakovic shaking something out. Or staying fresh.
He's dealt with a hip injury recently. He was sick, missed 4 games with that combination. Some tape on the wrist before the game.
It's a kick. It's a kick.
It's going to be called a foul against Okpara.
No, it's a kick.
I thought I saw AJ Desai hold up a 1 and a 0 for Okpara's jersey, but I guess it's just going to be out of bounds off the kick.
Nobody wants to listen to me, huh?
I'm a visual learner.
or you've learned enough working with me not to listen. It's okay.
Yeah, little column A, little column B. 9 to go in this tie game in the ACC Tournament. Long-time rivals from the Bay Area. Here's Campbell on the fadeaway. Another one!
He is free. He's just having fun. And sometimes that's what you need. That's what makes a team really dangerous. We see that in the NCAA Tournament. The team that's not supposed to win plays freer. I don't know if that's a real word.
15 for DJ. Raynaud cannot answer. Long rebound. Here's Campbell all the way and into Raynaud for a foul.
I mean, be the aggressor. How many times have we worked together? I said the aggressor usually always wins, but really the saying is the aggressor always wins. Cal's been that. They've just played with confidence and fearlessness, and that's all you could ask from the guys that are still able to play. It's just good stuff. Hustle, coast to coast. Andrej Stojakovic kind of occupies the opposite side. You go into the shot blocker.
DJ Campbell had 10 yesterday, all at the line, 10 for 12. Today he's got 16.
He's let loose, though.
And only one of those shots at the line. And the foul was Raynaud's third, by the way. 8:25 to go.
I also think he understands who he is on the floor with Stojakovic out.
And as we've noted, we'll keep noting it, Wilkinson out and Blacksher out. Those two are done for the game. Not that they played in the game, they were out before the game. Wilkinson a concussion, Blacksher with a foot injury. Both suffered in the win yesterday.
Good reset.
Thank you. I don't know if you were talking about me or Gieler. Blake's looking for Raynaud.
I don't like resets on the floor, so you.
There you go. 8 to shoot it. Sellers lost it off his knee. It's Sissoko, and here come the Bears with Petritis. Pavlovic doinked right off on Parr's arm, and then Raynaud will drive it. Try to go behind his back. He went off his shoe. Can I say that's a good reset on the floor?
Take a breath. Yes. You know Stojakovic is coming in at the under 8, so if you can get a decent look, even get fouled, that would be great if you're Cal. Don't do that.
Another dribble off a shoe. Blakes. Sellers got whacked. 7 minutes and 22 seconds remaining. The California Golden Bears.
I know Darren DeVries just does a terrific job coaching basketball. And they were kind of short-handed to start and injuries. Give him a lot of credit taking over that program. A lot of excitement there.
Should still be in the tournament, the Mountaineers, despite the one and done here. 7:22 to go. Isaiah Sellers, his first points of the half come on free throws. It's 62-60 Cal. The 291st meeting of the Cal-Stanford men's basketball rivalry. They call it the big game in football. They call it the Battle of the Bay in women's basketball. Here it's just Cal-Stanford. And it's DJ Campbell spinning home another. 2 and a chance for 3 in a second half that he has dominated.
Yeah, he's really found something by really getting hard, going hard, getting low, right? Kind of selling the defender on going all the way to the basket and then spin it back. He's gotten this a number of times here in the second half. But again, I go back to the fact that he can play fearlessly. Like, there is so much talent out there, but I think guys get stuck in the mud thinking too much, being worried about the guy behind them. If they mess up or miss a shot, you're going to get taken out. There is something that is incredibly liberating about knowing there's really nobody else.
No.
There's something about that. I'm not saying that's what you desire if you're Mark Madsen.
DJ Campbell, his second best scoring night of the year. 4-point lead for Cal. Blakes makes it 2, and he's got 18.
That's what happens when Maxime Raynaud is in some way the facilitator around the perimeter. There's nobody there to deter anything at the rim.
Blakes and Raynaud, 39 out of 62 for Stanford. Campbell, Sissoko, and Stojakovic have 58 of the 64 for Cal. Here's Campbell again. That ball's knocked around. It's another offensive rebound for Cal. Every time they miss, they seem to get the ball back. And a 3 missed by Campbell. And finally, a defensive rebound for Stanford. Can you believe we're 34 minutes into the game? That is the 10th defensive rebound for Stanford.
Versus 10 offensive rebounds for Cal.
Insane. Back cut Blakes. He ties it and is fouled. What a great delivery it was from Raynaud.
It's the second time in 2 consecutive possessions that Campbell got beat on a back cut. I understand taking the pass away, but there are simple fundamentals that are just tried and true, right? Stay between your man and the basket. That's one of them. I get it. Again, you want to take passes away. You want to disrupt in that sense. But 2 times in a row, you get beat because of a good passing big.
And Blakes puts Stanford in the lead with the free throw. The foul was Stojakovic's 3rd.
And if you're Cal offensively and you have Mady Sissoko on the block with Blakes covering him and Stojakovic on his side, the ball has to find those 2.
Stojakovic right now off the screen. He gets a switch with Raynaud. The 2 best players in the game matched up. And Stojakovic misses a pretty good look.
Well, that's a really good look. That's one you certainly live with. If anything, you probably take that most times down the floor.
Keeler gets a hard Raynaud screen. He launches too deep. Campbell around a Sissoko screen now.
He went back to it. The problem was Raynaud was covering him.
Campbell step back 3, no good. Punched up in the air by Raynaud. He's called, or is he? Thought Raynaud was going to be called for the foul at first. A Cal bench a year. 3 rebounds shy of his 24th double-double. His 23 lead the country on our Stanford record. And he misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Under 5 to play. The 15 seed Cal, the 7 seed Stanford. Louisville gets the winner at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Might have been an offensive foul there.
Of all the ones they call.
Petritis got away with it. Stojakovic slipped, lost it, and it's into the hands of Sellers. Blakes is open. What do we got here? Somebody's going to make a call.
It should be Stanford ball.
I think so. It is.
I still look at that handoff, and it's like that's the exact thing that they say is what they're trying to get out of the game. That handoff, he just, I don't know who he lit up, but it was somebody.
Buddy Keeler with Raynaud, Sellers, Young, and Jalyen Blakes, who's 1 point shy of a career high.
Zone it up here is tough to do with this man on the floor. He's just such a threat.
Gets to his left hand, no, got it back. Rare offensive rebound for Stanford. Raynaud would like the basketball again. Why not? Left it short again, he missed 2.
Sissoko did a good job of keeping him off balance on the turn. When he spun, Sissoko got his body into the offensive player, so he didn't have balance on the shot. Ultimately, good scouting does that. You can see what you can do to limit somebody.
Christian Tucker, DJ Campbell bricked it, and Stojakovic lies in wait for a Cal putback and a Golden Bear lead.
How many times have I said, probably this week alone, the worst misses favor the offense. Now, granted, Cal's been great on the offensive glass, but that was such a bad miss that the offensive player was likely to get it.
This is just great stuff. What a story this is. 6 overtimes in the last 2 games, and Cal is on the precipice of another. They're up 1, 3:18 to go against their arch rival from across the bay in Charlotte, North Carolina, of all places. 66-65. Stanford with the ball. Sellers with a drive and the miss, and the rebound is Sissoko.
Really good defense there from Cal on the wall up, right? You take some contact on the dribble, but once they go up for the shot, go straight up. I love that they're giving that to the defense.
Under 3 to play, here's Campbell. He's 4 shy of a career high. Stojakovic is 3 shy with no Wilkinson and no Blacksher tonight. Keeler against Stojakovic. Height advantage for the Cal man, the former Stanford man. Leaves it short, and it's tipped out by Sissoko to Campbell. Another offensive rebound for Cal, which has grabbed more of its misses than Stanford has. Stojakovic again. Into the paint, out for Campbell, tough catch, gotta shoot it. Oh, in and out.
Not a bad possession, though, for Cal. I know you want to score. Now, this can't happen if you're Cal.
Oh, a quick one while they're away. Ozziah Sellers for a Stanford lead. His first three-pointer since the opening minutes. Timeout, Cal. We're back in a half minute.
One to the best shooter on the floor for Stanford in Sellers.
All the offensive rebounds have been great, but you're right. That's where it can hurt you.
Yep.
And it was the first three for Stanford in 15 minutes, 59 seconds.
Is anybody else doing anything?
Yes, Sellers. Other than that, it's those four. The guy who just hit the go-ahead shot, not even on that graphic. And there's a foul against Keeler. That'll put Stojakovic at the line for a 1-and-1.
Okay, I love what Stojakovic just did. Did you see what he just did after the foul? He continued to shoot it. Right, he hasn't really had a great rhythm over the last few minutes, and as a shooter, you just kind of want to feel it come out of your hand before you go to the free throw line. I love that he actually continued through that, went through the shot process and let it fly.
1-and-1 for Stojakovic. There will be a second.
I tell you, there's something to that. You know, he's been fighting. A lot of what he's been doing is coming off the bounce. He hasn't really had that much of a rhythm here in the second half shooting the ball.
Andrej Stojakovic with a new career-high 32 has tied it at the line.
This has been good, man. It's a really good game.
Great. Keeler in all kinds of trouble, dribbles out of it. Here's Chisholm Okpara. Raynaud, touch pass, Sellers, short. Keeler with the offensive rebound. Taste of Cal's own medicine. Keeler, 90 seconds in the game. Raynaud for Blakes, 6 to shoot it. The former Duke man gives it to Keeler. Bang! A heat check. He hit that one from Palo Alto.
Wow. Well, I mean, look, good possession for Cal. And I thought they'd get Raynaud involved. I thought maybe a pick and pop, you drag out the defense a little bit. We're not able to get Raynaud involved, and this is really all you had left. Keeler with the bomb. And he found a little something off the bounce, too. He had people behind us oohing and ahhing on his little ball handling. But this is huge. I mean, good defense. Now, if you're Cal, you've got to start figuring out how you're going to get some easy offense, because I've got to tell you, the last few minutes, it's been a grind on the offensive end. I think you're really starting to see tired bodies for Cal. I think they've done a good job defensively, particularly against Raynaud. He's going to get his either way, but he hasn't been able to influence the game as well as he could. I think you've got to find ways to manufacture some easy and somewhat quick offense, too.
The first time Cal and Stanford have met east of Tempe, Arizona. They played in Berkeley, in Palo Alto, in Vegas, and Tempe, and now it's Charlotte. And this game, like many of the others in the Pacific time zone, is going right down to the end. Stojakovic on the switch with Blakes. Barrels into him. Step back two. He's got 34, and it's a one-point game.
Well, that's where they're going to go for quick offense. It's just clear, maybe ball screen. If he gets a switch, great. If not, attack the open side of the floor.
Cal used its final timeout after the last possession. Stanford's got 2. They've got the ball in the hands of Raynaud. And he lost it with contact. And then Keeler couldn't take it away from Campbell. Stojakovic blocked by Raynaud. He chased him down. Cal, I think, has to foul here unless Okpara is going to charge in.
Wow.
What do we have? A blocking foul and a basket. Okpara with a three-point opportunity.
The entire possession that started with the block for Raynaud making his way back in. It looked like Stojakovic was wide open. He's going to step in very slowly. He took his time stepping into this one. Raynaud comes from behind, gets the block, and then it goes the other way. Okpara. Yeah, we don't hand out charges like we used to.
Make it a 2-possession game. He does. Chisholm Okpara of 4 points being in Charlotte, but how much would the man who loves these schools in the Conference of Champions more than anybody else be loving this right now?
He'd probably refuse to do the game.
Stojakovic in trouble. He gets it back from Campbell for 3. That's pure! Wow. Looking like his old man. 14 to go. Okpara leaks out and dunks it. They didn't foul because they couldn't get to him. So Cal is out of timeouts. And Stanford will try to foul. Blakes missed it. Stojakovic. Oh, they're going to call it. They're calling the foul.
Oh,
it's an illegal screen on Sissoko. Ted Valentine has an offensive foul on Sissoko, and it's Stanford ball.
There's a part of me that probably says, yeah, it probably was. It probably was.
I think it was.
It probably was. Either way, whether it's a point of emphasis or not, it probably was. Ted Valentine's the guy that will call it.
Yep.
It's the right call.
Blakes, Raynaud, and Raynaud is fouled. And 2 shots are coming for Maxime Raynaud, and if he hits one, it pretty much seals the game.
Hey, this has been a great game. Both these teams, I think, hey, East Coast, wake up to these guys. This is good stuff. Look, Mark Madsen, terrific job with this program. Kyle Smith, terrific job with that program. Maxime Raynaud, one of the best players in college basketball that needs to be talked about a little bit more. Andrej Stojakovic, it's a bit of a coming out party.
If the nation didn't know Andrej Stojakovic yet, after 37 points, they certainly do. And they have needed every one of them. No Jovan Blacksher with a foot injury. No Jereimah Wilkinson with a concussion. The second and third leading scorers for Cal are out. They're down 4 players who started this year. They have played 6 overtimes in the last 2 games. There's no way they should be hanging around here, and yet they have given it everything. But now it comes down to Raynaud with 5.3 to go and 2 free throws.
I think Campbell, Stojakovic, and Sissoko have really carried the way here for Cal, but it's been everybody fighting. You gotta give them all the credit in the world.
Raynaud puts his hand to his ear after he makes it a 2-possession game. 77% free throw shooter.
Kev, you also go back real quickly. Stojakovic makes that 3, and they give up an immediate dunk.
Yep.
That was killer.
Didn't get a chance to foul, although this is an amazing free throw shooting team. They went 84% in the league, and Raynaud hits them both. So it's going to take some band on the field lateral kind of heroics here.
Oh, good job. You're a pro.
Stojakovic back for Campbell. Back to Stojakovic. He hoists. He misses. And the ball game is over. It belongs to the Stanford Cardinal. 78-73. The Cardinal and the Cardinals